Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another video. Today, we are starting a brand new series. Get hype? Make sure to drop a like down below for the first episode of what I think I'm going to try and do as a monthly series. I'm calling it Answering Questions No One Asked Me. Basically, the premise is that I'm going to look at Ask Me Anything questions and things like that on Reddit. You know, if a Twitch streamer or somebody posts a Ask Me Anything on Twitter, or, you know, says that they're going to do a Q&A video and they need questions, something like that, I'm going to go through, I'm going to pick out random questions that I think I can give, you know, either an amusing answer for or something like that. I'm going to put it in video form, and that's what I did today. So let's get right into the video. Again, make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, comment if you have any questions that you actually do want to ask me, and let's get right into it. So question number one is going to come from Base Type on Reddit, who posted, "What makes you stick around when you're watching smaller streamers?" So for me, when I'm watching a smaller streamer, I'm looking for a couple of things. I'm looking for video quality, I'm looking for audio quality, and most importantly, I'm looking for how they communicate with their chat. You know, is it someone that's really toxic? Is it someone that is, you know, doing a good job answering any questions that are being asked, you know, having conversation with people, things like that. As a small streamer myself, I hope that I do a good job of meeting those three things. You know, I really hope that I do a good job talking to my chat. I really hope I do a good job with my audio and my video. The quality of the content that I'm creating will kind of fluctuate depending on what game I'm playing. You know, I'm not the most talented Hearthstone player or things of that nature, but, you know, I do go out of my way. I try, and most importantly, I try and be entertaining. So that's kind of what I look for, and, you know, hopefully I am someone that I would want to watch. I wasn't able to find enough good questions from, you know, AMAs on Twitter or on Reddit. I didn't have any saved where I could just go back and look. So I went to a random question generator. So first up, what are some of your favorite athletes? So I'm going to break it down by sport. So basketball, Steve Nash. Dude influenced my entire game. For those who don't know, I love basketball. I played basketball from 2nd grade through 10th grade. You know, I was never the best player, I'll admit that, but I had a lot of fun with it, and I feel like for the most part I was close to as good as everybody I was playing against. Granted, I normally only played in like rec leagues, youth leagues, things like that, but still. Steve Nash affected the way that I play the game. He affected the way that I see the game. You know, I'm looking not just for who's open, I look for who's going to be open. You know, when I play basketball, I'm looking for, you know, if he just makes that one cut, you know, I can get him the ball, he'll be wide open, we'll be good. It was more than just who could dunk the ball really well. I looked for who I wanted to be like when I played. For football, I don't know. I don't really have one favorite. I guess if I had to choose, I would probably pick someone like Dante Hall, who I grew up watching, and, you know, who I thought was just really entertaining. You know, anytime he touched the ball, he could have gotten a touchdown. And granted, yeah, there's been a lot of guys like that since. there will be a lot of guys like that in the future, but Dante Hall is who I was watching as a kid, when I started watching football, and he was the man. So question number 3, what areas in life do you have high hopes, and what are those high hopes? So I'm very passionate about real estate. I'm very passionate about rental property investing. My kind of tentative goal is to reach $5,000 in passive income per month within the next 5 years. I've still got a lot of work to do. I have a lot of learning to do before we get to that. But, I feel like I am on a good track for that. I do currently have 2 rental properties, and that gives me a pretty strong base for getting to that goal of $5,000 per month of passive income. Bouncing right off that is question number 4, I believe. This question comes from I'm King Ferrari in the real estate investing Reddit. You have $50,000 to invest in real estate. What's your investment? So right now, my pick would probably be a duplex. I would probably put that $50,000 down on a $200,000 duplex. In my area, you can get duplexes in the $175,000 to $250,000 range. I'd probably find something in that range. I don't know for sure that my wife and I would move into one side or if we would rent both sides out, but I feel like a $50,000 down payment would be a pretty good base to start with, and then we would use the rental income from that property to pay the mortgage and all of the expenses, all of that fun stuff, and then we would start saving for the next rental property. So this one's a little bit more serious. Do you think morality exists in nature, or is it a human construct? Morality is 1,000% a human construct. A bear doesn't give a shit about the fish's family that he just ate. If a bear eats a fish out of a river, the bear doesn't care what that fish thought as it was dying. That is a human thing, and while yes, it does handicap us sometimes, thinking, oh, well, is this going to make me a bad person if I do this? Yeah, that does handicap us, but that's also what makes us human, is that thought that if I screw this guy over, I'm going to be a bad person. If I just don't show up for my job, I get fired, I get evicted, I start stealing to get by, I'm a horrible person. That kind of thinking is what makes humans who we are, and that's how we've gotten to the top of the food chain, is we understand on a different level than animals do. Next up, if everyone said what they were actually thinking, what do you think would happen to society? There'd be a lot more fist fights, if we're being honest. I feel like some people would get a lot of enjoyment out of just people watching, but that's both a good and a bad thing. Because yes, I think a little bit more truth would help in some ways. Truth is a tricky thing. You want truth, but you don't want too much of it. Because too much truth from someone like the government, that could cause riots. But, truth from your direct supervisor when you ask if you're doing okay or if there's anything you need to improve on. Truth from your significant other if you ask, are you cheating on me? Stuff like that. A little more truth would be good for society, but in general, I think the negatives might outweigh the positives on that one. What really needs to be modernized? What needs to be modernized is business hours. Speaking as someone who is a chronic night person, I don't like waking up early. I especially don't like waking up early on a Saturday because the bank closes at noon. Because the post office closes at noon. Or because the restaurant I want to go to was only open until midnight instead of 2 a.m. It really is a problem for someone, not just who is a night person, but for someone who works nights. I've spent the majority of my adult life working overnight shifts. You know, my wife currently gets off work at midnight. And, you know, just business hours, it's just gotta change. You know, government offices, banks, post offices, things like that have got to expand their hours because it makes it so difficult when you are a night person. If you don't wake up until, you know, noon, because that's when you have to be at your job. So you're telling me we don't have to wake up early to go to work, but we have to wake up early to go to the grocery store? I just don't get it. What is the silliest fear you have? Okay, so check this out. Picture this with me. So you're driving your car up a hill. The hill keeps getting steeper and steeper and steeper and steeper. And then you fall backwards down the hill and die. That's my biggest fear, is just falling down backwards and not being able to stop it and not knowing what happened, just being dead. I realize that's irrational because cars have brakes, your tires have rubber that stick to the asphalt to keep you from just flying backwards. But it extends beyond that. Like escalators, terrified of escalators. Just that slow going up. I don't know what it is about it, but it just terrifies me. It might slightly be a fear of heights thing, but it's horrible. What weird food combinations do I really enjoy? So, I'll be honest, I'm a very plain eater. Pretty much meat and cheese and potatoes is all I eat. Which is part of why, you know, but that's another story. But I think the main thing that I do that it kind of grosses out my wife is that I will put Chipotle sauce on just about anything that needs a dipping sauce. Like chicken nuggets, tacos, you know, you name it, I'm probably down to put some Chipotle sauce on it. I don't know why, I just love it. And just for the record, I'm not talking about the restaurant Chipotle. I'm talking about, like, Southwest Chipotle ranch sauce, or the little orange bottle of Taco Bell sauce that is just, I think it's just called Chipotle sauce. It's fire. Go eat some. Unless you have health conditions, because it's probably horrible for you. Our final question is a more serious one. How have your parents influenced what goals you have? So, growing up, my dad made a lot of money. He worked for the government and earned a very good salary. You know, we basically had anything we needed. You know, I had pretty much whatever video game systems I wanted. You know, pretty much whatever game I wanted. You know, it was good. It was a good childhood. But he was horrible with money. We may have had those video game systems, but we also... I don't want to put all of our business out there, but, you know, there were some times where we were, you know, where we had some utilities shut off because we had went and bought something fun or gone on a vacation or whatever the case may be. You know, then at the same time, at my mom's house, my mom didn't bring home a lot of money, which I'm not going to get into all that. You know, that's not really my place to talk about. But, so between not having a lot of money at my mom's and just mismanaging money at my dad's, it really made me want to grow as a person and really get into things like real estate investing, passive income, you know, maybe want to learn about personal finance just in general so that I'm better with my money, so that my kids never have to wonder if, you know, the electric is going to be shut off or something because I forgot to pay a bill. Something like that. You know, that's a way that my parents really influenced my life. And, you know, I had a great childhood. I really did. But, you know, you start to pick up on things as you get older. And that's one of the things I kind of picked up on, was that money is kind of a weird thing. And you can either let it control you or you can control your money. It's one or the other. There is no middle ground. And I'm actually considering making a second channel that will be specifically for finance and vlog related videos. You know, if I go and look at a bunch of houses, you know, maybe I'll put a vlog on the channel, you know, where I'm visiting these houses. Or maybe I will, you know, like analyze the numbers on a rental property to see if it's worth buying on the channel. You know, there's 1,000 different things I can do that are like personal finance and specifically real estate that I think I could lend some knowledge on. I'm by no means an expert, but I do feel that I pretty much have my head on straight. So, but ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this is something that really catches on, because this was a lot of fun to make. I've been thinking about this video for quite a while now, and I really enjoy Q&A videos. So this was something that I've really been excited to do. So again, please leave a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, leave a like. It really helped my channel grow. We got a goal of hitting 1,000 YouTube subscribers in 2020. So until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and we out!